So let's talk about public policy and education. First of all, public policy as a whole is the body of decisions made by governmental or regulatory bodies, which creates the parameters for virtually everything we do in a democratic society. There's public policy regulating most areas of our life, including the speed of our cars, health care coverage, where we get our energy, you name it. Somewhere in the woodwork there is there's some guidelines that have been created through our public policy mechanisms. There is extensive public policy regulating education, and you all know it better than anybody else, but some of the obvious ones are the number of days students must attend school, the age of mandatory public school attendance, the credentials for teachers, and it goes on and on. Public policy manifests itself in three forms. One is statutes or laws, mainly in Title 16, although you can find areas that regulate school operations in a number of other titles as well. We put out what has come to be known as the Green Book, which is a collection of most legislation that relate, or most of the statutes that relate to education. If you have never seen a copy, you should talk to your superintendent. Superintendents should all have them. A number of school boards have them, and again, they can be accessed through the VSBA. These are the laws that are established by the legislature. That is the single biggest body of public policy that you'll find. Then there are these small things called regulations, and regulations are developed through a law that was passed known as the Administrative Procedures Act. When a regulation is adopted through that process, it has the force of law. And there are many regulations that have been adopted through the Department of Education that affect your lives and affect the way you do business in your schools. For example, there are extensive regulations related to how we implement special education in this state. Those regulations that are established through the Department of Education, through the State Board of Education up to this point, can be found online at the Department of Education website. And then there are a set of directives that stem from these laws and regulations. Now, I don't think if I was to consult with my lawyer, she may say that that's not really public policy. But as you know, we get lots of directives from the Department of Education and from other people giving us guidance about what we should and shouldn't do. And many times those directives are rooted either in law or regulation. And certainly they give us a sense that you know, it is public policy guidance that's being given to local boards. Sure.
I would just say that there's one other source of law, and that's case law that's developed by courts. And if there's a question about a directive having force of law, the courts can help settle that question.
Thank you, Nicole. That's very helpful. Absolutely, case law is a major way that we figure out what laws really mean. And once case law is established, obviously it impacts all of us. So thank you. We'll have to